How's it going, everyone? Welcome to another video. Today we're going to be going over all things related to the Springtide Bloom event that's coming to New World. From what you'll be doing throughout the event, what rewards are worth going after, my favorite place to farm the event out in, and some tips and tricks that'll help you out throughout this period. But first, please consider giving the video a like and subscribing to the channel. It helps out massively. Now, let's get into it. The season of a renewal has arrived in Aeternum as the settlers prepare for the Springtide Bloom event. From May 13th to June 2nd, adventurers of at least level 20 across the island celebrate this season with truth, petals, and power. In return, they reward with fun, colorful event-themed rewards. What is it you'll be doing throughout this period? If you're new to this event, it's not quite like the rest of the events in New World, where you're out there hunting down a world boss. Instead, you're out farming what are called wispy blooms, which are just colorful flowers. They will be spawning in all over Aeternum and are surrounded by wispy wasps. Simply plant bombs that you craft to destroy all of the wasps before harvesting the flower for its petals, which you can then convert into tokens and turn in for fun event-themed rewards. Along with that, you'll also be town hopping, collecting gift sacks for even more rewards. That might sound a bit complicated if you're a newer player, but don't worry, it's very simple, and I'll now go over how to get going with this event. First, to start off the event, you need to complete a quick quest that will go over the basics of the event with you. To start it, head on over to any of the Springtide villages, which will be marked on your map with the flower icon, and talk to the Bloom Herald. Make sure to bring with you 10 fibers, 3 honey, and 1 fire mote, as you'll need them to complete the next step of the quest. They can all be easily purchased on the trading post. Once you first talk to the Herald, she'll give you a bit of the lore behind the event, before sending you off to the Wispy Spirits crafting station within the village, which will be marked on your map with a quest marker. Use the items previously mentioned to make a Spritz bomb, and head back to the Herald. She'll then send you off to put your newly made bombs to the test on some wasps, before harvesting some wispy blooms. The flowers will be spawning in all over Aeternum, and there's usually quite a few spawns just outside of the festival villages, so you shouldn't have to run far. You'll see their flower icons on the map whenever you're near one, and they emit a large colorful ring high up into the sky, so they're hard to miss. I'll go over my favorite spot to farm these out a bit later on in the video, but once you've found one, start terminating those pesky wispy wasps that surround the flower. 3 of them hover around the flower you're after, with multiple places you can plant the bomb across the area as well. They'll automatically aggro to you, so place a bomb, stand in one spot near it until they reach you, and they should take damage when the bomb goes off. 3 explosions later, they should all be dead. With multiple people around, it can get a bit more tricky with all the random aggroing, but you get used to it after a couple of tries. Once the wasps are dead, grab their loot, harvest the flower, and head back to the Herald. And that's the end of the introduction quest. From here on out, you can go farm the event as long as you like, taking out wasps and harvesting the flowers until you have as many tokens as you need. But there's more ways to earn tokens and rewards than just by flower hunting, which I'll go over shortly. Now, let's go over the fun stuff, the event rewards. All of the big ticket event themed items you'll be getting from this event will be purchasable in the event store from the Bloom Herald. The currency used for these items is known as Springtide tokens. You'll be doing a variety of activities every day throughout this period to earn different kinds of materials, which in turn, you'll turn into the Springtide tokens that you can use in the store to purchase the rewards you want. Before we go over the token conversion rate, let's first look at the daily activities you'll be doing and the rewards you can stand to get from said activities. Firstly, you can head to any of the major settlements of Aeternum and interact with the joyous gift piles every day. These are usually around the center of the town and can be seen on your map, but don't worry, they're very big and very colorful, so it's hard to miss them. Upon gathering these gift piles, you'll receive the following rewards: 1 daily gypsum with a limit of 6 per day, 2 to 8 wispy spritz, 25 event reputation, 10 Springtide tokens, 2 to 3 dyes at a 66% drop chance, 1 Springtide dram at a 33% chance, 1 Springtide wafer at a 22% chance, and 1 Springtide crumble at an 11% chance. Then, there's the special Springtide villages that'll be popping up all over the island. They'll be serving as the event hub. They're easy to find on the map, as they'll have big event-themed icons, and at the center of them, there will be delightful gift sacks that you can loot every day. From these, you can get the following rewards: 1 Springtide coin bag, granting anywhere from 1 to 200 coins based on your level, 10 Springtide tokens, 50 event reputation, and a very small chance at getting a Springtide Bloom pattern. After that, there's the wispy blooms that we were introduced to in the event introduction quest. When you harvest one, you'll get 14 wispy bloom petals and 275 event reputation. For killing the wispy wasps around the flower, you have a 45% chance at getting a wispy wasp goo. Don't worry if there's a few people fighting for the same flower, because as long as you do some damage to the wasps, or gather the flower, you'll receive participation rewards as well. And finally, you can also harvest prisma blooms all over Aeternum for some daily rewards. Each time you harvest one, you have a 70% chance at getting a Springtide token, limited to 10 of per day, and 1 premium Springtide token at a 5% chance with a limit of 1 per day. Basically, a typical day for me while this event is active, if I'm farming for tokens, would see me village and town hopping to get all the free loot from the gift sacks before heading on out to farm flowers in the spot I'll go over shortly. If I were to see Prisma Blooms while I was out farming, I'd grab them too, and I'd just keep farming until I had everything I wanted from the event store. But now that you know what you'll be doing each day to get the event materials, let's look at the Springtide token conversion rate. You can turn in 3 Wispy Bloom petals for 1 Springtide token. 1 Wispy Wasp Goo can be turned into 1 premium Springtide token. 1 premium token can be broken down into 25 normal Springtide tokens, and you can upgrade 25 normal Springtide tokens into a premium token, with the Violet Suspended Azoth as well. Okay, so now that we know how to get the materials and the conversion rate, let's go over the Springtide shop, which is where you can spend all of these tokens you accumulate. For starters, there's 3 tiers of rewards in the store, and as you earn event XP by doing the various activities mentioned before, you'll unlock the additional store ranks, and with it, more reward options. If you've done this event before in the past, and have maxed out your event reputation already, you won't have to do it again. The first store rank will give you access to event-themed foods and dyes. Nothing too groundbreaking here, but you could stock up on some of these items and sell them later on down the line for a good profit if you wanted to. Next up, at rank 2, is where you start unlocking some of the more unique event-themed rewards. There's some really cool options here, as you can see on screen, with the Beekeeper outfit being a nice all-white look that compare nicely with a lot of transmogs, and the Springtime set is a fan favorite with a lot of the females on Aeternum. You also get a couple of dance-themed emotes, with the Flower Child dance and the Frolic in the Grass, both of which are pretty cool moves to add to your emote repertoire. And then, there's some nice, colorful housing items to brighten up your houses. From lights, to flowers, to pigment sacks. If you feel like your house is looking a bit dull, this can really spruce it up. And finally, there's rank 3, the highest shop tier. This is where the really awesome rewards are, as you can see on screen. First, there's your cooldown items, with the Springtide armor patterns, Azoth inductors, and chromatic seals, which can save you a ton of gold in the long run, or can craft you some pretty nifty new gear. If you already have everything else you want from this event, make sure to pick up as much of these as you can whenever their cooldown timer is up. Then, there's the mount, Abigail, and a couple of colorful skins you can throw onto your gear. You also get a pretty cozy looking camp in the Blossom's Respite, and a few more colorful pieces of furniture to liven up your houses. And finally, you have another cool dance emote in the Bop Dance. Overall, there's a ton of colorful items to hunt down from this event, but don't worry if you can't grab them all this time out, as you can always get the ones you missed next time the event rolls around. And like with all events, there'll also be some event-themed items over in the Marks of Grace shop, so if you're loving the aesthetic of this event, feel free to go over there and pick up some extra Springtide Bloom themed items. Okay, so now we know what you'll be doing, what you're after, but you may be wondering where you should head to hunt down these flowers and farm out this event. The options for this are limitless, as there's so many spawns, and just running around the map should see you getting good token numbers per hour. But if you want it to be ultra efficient, my favorite place to farm for flowers is in this little area just between Monarchs and Windsward, as there's tons of spawns here. Simply teleport into the Wild's Gateway fast travel point, pop your Springtide wafer for the bonus rewards, and head north grabbing all the flowers you find. As you see on screen, tons of flowers spawn here, but if you want, you can screenshot the map image so you know which area to stay within. I tend to do my daily town hops first, gathering the loot sacks so I can get a good stack of bombs, and then come here to use them all up. If you do the same, you should be getting everything you want from this event in no time at all, and then you can put the rest of your tokens into coin making methods and cooldown items. But now that you know everything there is to know about this event, let me quickly go over some tips and tricks that'll hopefully help you out during this period. For starters, you can use this event to make some pretty decent coins in multiple ways if you play your cards right. Firstly, once you've already gotten everything you need from the event store, you can start putting your tokens into event foods and dyes, which you can sell later on down the line for a profit. The longer you wait, the higher the prices should go up, as the items will be less readily available. You can even buy up more of these items from the trading post while the market is flooded for a cheap price, and hold them to sell further on down the line. Or, you can also purchase things like chromatic seals and Azoth inductors from the event store, which will save you gold in the future. Or you can use the inductor to craft a piece of gear for someone else for a price. And finally, you can use this time to offload some items you might have been holding onto for a while that should go up in price thanks to this event. Towards the start of this event, these items might be fiber, honey, and fire motes, as people buy these up to complete the introduction quest. And throughout the whole event, vials of suspended Azoth should be higher than normal, as many people will be using them up a lot as they convert their tokens. Keeping these items in mind for next year's event can also be very beneficial, as if you buy up these items in bulk when their prices are low, you can offload them during this event for a ton of profit. But before I end this video, let me leave you with one final tip that I briefly mentioned earlier on. Whenever you're out farming flowers, always make sure to pop some Springtide wafers event food, as you'll be gaining extra Wispy Blooms while out on your grinds if you do so, and it'll add up to a ton in the long run. If there's any tips you use during this event that I missed out on, please let me know in the comments below, as I know it'll help us all out. But that covers everything related to the Springtide Bloom event in New World. This is a really fun event to participate in, and it's got some really cool, colorful event-themed rewards for you to hunt down. So go out there, eradicate all those pesky wasps, harvest those wispy blooms, and get your hands on that sweet, sweet loot. Also, if the video was of any help to you, please consider giving the video a like and subscribing to the channel. It helps out massively. But until next time, have a good one. Thanks for watching another video, and a massive shout out to all the channel members and patrons seen on screen now. Links on how to become one in the video description. If you'd like to learn how to get all the new artifacts that came out with Season 8, click on the video to the left. Or if you'd like to learn more about the Season 8 Season Pass rewards and how to level your pass up fast, click on the video to the right.